Welcome to Podcast This Escape, the podcast where we talk about the escape room that we escaped from in the previous episode of this podcast.
That was a stumble.
I stumbled, but it's all right. You guys did it. Congratulations.
Wow.
Thank you.
Thank
That
you.
was
It
fun.
was really good,
It was
really well
so,
written.
It's
Really
so
strong.
well. Oh my gosh, that was so brilliant. I loved it.
We didn't
I'm
need
glad
too
you had
many
fun.
hints. I'm annoyed
I
about the
could-
password. That dollar thing.
Oh, you guys were so close with that. You had immediately. I did the playtest. I did not get that was a scrambled password for so long.
See,
I saw
thank
those
you,
letters.
Ed. You understood where I was going
True,
with
Yeah,
it.
immediately I knew what was going on.
I saw those letters and I was just like, that's nothing. You guys got it immediately. And you even asked the exact right question, which is, a 4 doesn't look like an S. That's crazy. And didn't find that one little thing that it has a big symbol on it that looks like an S on the same button.
Yeah, really should have got that. But
All of
I feel
us-
proud
and
that
I
we
presume
even
that
got that
all of
far
us-
with it.
Yeah, completely. And all of us had keyboards right in front of us and just didn't see that.
Yeah.
But
I feel like I couldn't have asked for a better team to have played this
you
room.
were fantastic.
I was so happy.
Yeah.
I think you should all be very happy. Like
Why?
as you were saying,
Why?
you really didn't need many hints. And you jumped straight to everything in exactly the right way. Like I'm sure Danny, as the person who wrote these puzzles, felt it was perfect.
You made me feel validated that these are puzzles that worked.
Yeah, right? Because you guys, they clicked at exactly the right moments, and you knew where to go. And it was really nice to listen to the three of you finding those moments, being like, oh, another world, darkness. Oh, we could hold B. And then Alex comes in with, oh, like B on the video game. And then Ed's like, wait, the video game had darkness. That's right. You know, like you all kind of contributed in really nice ways to every single solve.
Yeah, you're not going to need much editing to make
Nah,
you sound smart.
I'll edit you to sound dumber. I'll just take you saying something wrong and replay it every time with a bwah bwah.
And
Balance.
If there'd just been one of us, it would have taken 3 times as long. It would have been
100%.
horrendous.
Like,
I'd
we're
still-
an
I'd still
amazing
be there.
team.
Yeah. It would've
Now,
been
I
very
know-
hard. But no, you can make me sound stupid when I went, Druno, Dinderano.
Druno.
I did.
Don't know.
I have to say, I did the same thing for quite a while. I saw DRN, and I went,
No.
well, that can't be right. Obviously done this wrong.
Yeah.
I thought that was heading towards something to do with drones.
Yeah, same. Same.
Yes,
but
right. It
didn't
almost
work.
looks like drone.
Yeah. Now, we usually ask people like their favorite moment or when they felt the smartest. Can I just say my favorite moment before we all start?
No.
Me. I'm here. My favorite moment was Alex, you going, I think I found something. I'm not going to tell you. And then, oh, wait, here it is. The top films connected to
Yeah.
those numbers. Oh, my God. Like, I'm pretty sure that if you hadn't done that, that would have ground things to a halt for a little bit.
Yeah.
That was amazing to hear.
Yeah.
Thank you, Danny. I was very pleased to look on the back of the door like I learnt from last time.
Yes.
That was lovely. I'm so happy you remembered.
That's our unofficial motto: is always check the door.
Really clever.
Hey, wait a minute. This is our show. You know what? It's our official motto. We get to decide those things. That's our official motto: is always check the door.
Is it interesting with 3 different people where you see in an escape? Because I always find this in escape rooms, and it's really great and revealing about what kind of people are and how they see the world. And it's like, I mean, like Alex, do you feel like you see things like codes in a lot of things? Because that top films thing is such a code thing. Whereas like I would see visual stuff more.
Yeah.
Like in actual clues and stuff, or like
I was nowhere near the fingers and thumbs business. I wouldn't have got that.
it's
Like you say, the visual thing. I had no idea. And I was quite into Ed's illegal war idea at the beginning. I don't know if that's a gender thing.
I'm sort of just here for satire. Really.
No, Ed, I think no. I think Ed makes connections between things, like keeps an eye on as dad.
Mm-hmm.
He keeps an eye on how things are connecting in the room, which I always get really lost in. I get very distracted.
Well,
I
as
am
Dad,
very glad that you
did
brought
you
up-
notice how my first instinct with the poster on the back of the door was to wipe it clean?
To clean it up. Exactly. No, but I like that you
Clean
set
all
that
those
up
clues
in the introduction that you're like, oh, you know, Ed's role is always to make sure everything's collected and everything's found. And then that immediately came true when Rose and Alex were like, oh, we can solve puzzles. They're like, no, there's more things to look for. Stop trying to solve a puzzle. We've got rooms to check.
Love searching the room. Love searching the room.
Can I dig down a bit into Colin? Like, I enjoyed your
Yes.
voice, Bill.
Oh, thank you.
How old do you think Colin was?
He was he's a 15-year-old, but
Oh, right.
he's only playing a 15-year-old in this world. He's actually 38. He just plays
Got it.
15 sometimes.
Very cool.
Are we going to
Because
meet
it's
Colin again?
movie
Damn,
magic.
that's clever.
He's
Is
been
Colin coming
cast
back?
as a 15-year-old. Ooh,
Who knows?
maybe he's the big bad guy.
Oh my gosh.
Do you want to see him come back? Is he
Colin
popular
needs
with
to come back.
audiences?
Oh, we'll have to
Should
find
producers be making notes?
out. He gets his own spin-off show later.
My
So
note.
there's-
If anyone ever finds my notes, I'm going to look absolutely insane.
Well, if you'd
too.
like, if
Pretty
you want to
good.
send us,
Can you send us a
if
picture
you send us
of
a picture of your
notes?
notes at some point, we can post them alongside the episode. Be like, look at Ed's notes.
Happy to.
If all
I'll
of you would
send
like
you
to send us
mine.
notes, yeah, just email them to us
I love
afterwards, and we
seeing
can put them on
people's
Instagram
notes.
and things. People are like,
I'll
wow.
share mine as well. It will make you feel better.
Yeah, our notes are not very good.
All right. So just Alex, yeah, you don't have a crazy amount of time. When did you feel best in this room?
Yeah, do you have a shining moment?
Well, I was when you went on a roll on the end and started explaining about that tunnel. I sort of thought, I think we've done it, because you went into quite an elaborate speech. I was, part of me thought, oh no, there's a whole other room that we have to go in.
Yes, I was.
Yeah.
When that opened up, I was like, oh yeah, that's that terrible moment where you see the clocks ticking down. You have 2 minutes left, and the bookshelf opens. You're like, well,
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah.
We got to go.
But-
home.
Perfect.
No, it did all feel like it clicked one by one. It was, much more successful than last time. My question would be that thing where it said "fine" with an exclamation mark as the eye. Was that relevant at all?
That was to try to get you a hint that Colin liked
Yeah,
substituting letters with symbols.
So that then brought in the dollar sign possibility for the password.
Got it.
That was one of those things because and even then, like Top Films is interesting because Top Films is like a puzzle that you solve that isn't actually a solution. It's a clue to
Yeah,
a
it
different
just
puzzle.
tells you the
Yeah.
answer
It's
to
just
the
a
other one.
clue to Dr. No,
It is a curious one.
which is kind of fun.
And yet, it worked
I
spectacularly.
mean, you set it up well, and it worked exactly how.
Yeah,
you
I think
want it to.
I think we shot over there pretty quickly. Like, I think we realised it was a clue to another clue.
Yeah. Well, I think, and what was, because especially because there were double numbers that 4, 18, 14, 15 felt alphabety,
point.
and so usually I think you're programmed in escape rooms to be suspicious of double numbers because you always think you need to condense them or like numerologize them and like add them to because they're always like literally a lock, so it's like that they always
Yeah.
stick out
Yeah.
massively. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and Alex, I think that was you as well, connecting the phone backgrounds with the sales posters.
Yeah, Alex
well-
had an absolute stormer.
I was thinking at that point,
yeah.
it's quite good for you guys that it's all just in your heads rather than physical, because that'd be a nightmare to actually
Oh
have
yes,
that many phones and
it's
drones.
also would be a nightmare. That's one of those puzzles that even in a real escape room would be irritating to solve because you know how like
Yeah.
when you try and sign up for something online and they say how many of these squares have a picture of a road crossing or a car or whatever. It's kind of that where you'd be like, okay, well, how many of these backgrounds have the sky? Well, this picture of a Ferrari has a little bit of sky in the background. Do we count that as skies?
Yeah.
And now we can literally just say there are 9 with sky. You know that as a fact. So it's kind of an easier puzzle to design in a virtual space
Oh, yeah.
rather than a physical one.
Have you designed any physical ones, you guys?
Nah,
Not really.
not really. Nah. That sounds like it requires engineering skills.
Yeah, someone has to build it if you design it in real
and
life.
it
There's
may
something
cost
amazing-
money.
Yeah, but it's I'm really surprised and it's amazed how well it works just with because it doesn't impede you for just setting it anywhere and sometimes you do go to some janky as escape rooms where it takes you out of it because you're like
Yeah.
wait, we're in an office building
yeah.
and this is crap. Like it's very you can build the world in your head a lot better. Great.
Exactly. It's sort of like it's kind of like an uncanny valley thing where if you build a set that almost looks like an Egyptian tomb but doesn't, people are like, well, I'm in a set that looks like an Egyptian tomb. And if you go so far away that you go like, well, this is clearly not an Egyptian tomb, you're literally in your living room. But imagine it's an Egyptian tomb. And then you
To be
go,
fair, though-
wow,
Maybe
oh my
I'll
gosh, I
leave
can
it.
see
Ed and
it.
I have
And it
been
works
to
really well.
one where a room was an Egyptian tomb and it was awesome.
It was
Time
really
Run.
good, but it was
Yeah.
too
Dark.
good in that it was very dark, and we actually
Very
couldn't see
dark.
anything. I mean, that was the most frustrating one we've ever done. It's the highest end escape room ever, and that was one of those ones where we thought, oh, there's 59 minutes. We've just completed the Egyptian tomb. We've surely finished it, and then another door opened, and we were in a Nazi's office.
Yeah. yeah. And we're all like, no.
We're like, oh god.
Oh, can you edit the podcast so that's the end of the episode?
Yeah.
Have any of you seen the film Escape Room? I think I watched it over Christmas.
Yeah, it's very bad.
Somehow no.
It's very bad, but really, really good.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it.
I get that. I saw they're doing a Japanese remake of the movie The Cube. I'm really looking forward to that.
Classic
great.
escape room-esque movie. But it is one of those things, like setting-wise as well. Like this has been an interesting arc because it's so mundane. Like the settings have been an actual escape room, a garage, a bakery, and now an electronics store. And I think usually part of the benefit of being completely like audio only
Is that you
we
can
can
go
be like,
full pants
you're on a
crazy."
zeppelin flying 100 feet in the sky 1,000 years in the past, and now it's just like, oh, you're at a local J-Car Electronics. You know, like it's been an interesting one. Did you
It is.
worry about that, Danny? When you made this season, that it was going to be a little bit boring in terms of setting? I don't find that it is. I think the puzzles still work really well, but it's just like it's interesting that these are such mundane settings.
Yeah, I get what you mean. Like,
And our last
I
arc was all
100%.
time travel.
It's definitely something you got to keep in mind. That's for sure.
But the true satisfaction of escape rooms, it doesn't matter what the setting is, because if you discover what the code is and you unlock a thing and you press a button and a wall comes away, it doesn't really matter what
You
the
get the
setting is. It's
endorphin
just still the
rush.
same excitement.
And also,
That is true.
there's
That's what you'd hope.
massive mounting like satisfaction in terms of like it's like a legacy game, right? Like where it's like when you have a storyline and you're building on. So even though I haven't listened to the other episodes, the fact that this is part of a bigger story means that because like I mean, if you go to a physical escape room, you have to like get used to an entire context immediately before it.
Oh, yeah.
But
Yeah.
then if you understand the rules and the kind of, world you're in, even just from the brief context you gave us, it means that you're, I don't know, it's really interesting. It'd be an interesting thing to be able to, and that's what works with things like Time Run or like escape rooms like that, where it's room after room, but they all connect to each other. That's why it feels exciting. But it'd be interesting to have an whole thing where it's like 4 different escape rooms, but all of them do connect to each other, but also stand alone. But also you could go from one room to another room to another room.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Be interesting.
absolutely.
And this is a total fantasy
Alex.
because literally there's a global pandemic and we'll never go into escape rooms again. So
I mean,
True.
yes, actually, on that note, like, I'm wondering, Alex, do you need to head off?
yes.
Yeah, I do now. Yeah, I have a dog and a child I need to take out. But
All right,
thank,
well,
very fair.
yeah, thank you so much. That was really fun.
So fun. Nice to see you, Alex.
Yeah, you too, Rose.
Yeah,
see you,
have a
Alex.
great
Thank you,
day.
Rose.
Thanks for getting us in this.
Bye.
Bye.
We can keep talking.
It's funny that you mention like connected stories and things like that, and also never being able to do escape rooms again, because obviously since everything shut down, heaps of companies turned their rooms into online ones, and some new online escape rooms popped up, some of which I haven't done them, but I feel like they have got some interconnected story-ish things going.
So this one I mentioned at the beginning, which isn't really an escape room, it's more of a sort of, it's got elements of escape
Yeah.
rooms, but
I did a Google of it while you were solving puzzles.
yes, it's a lot of fun. So I think they're just about to do the 3rd chapter, but it's basically it's really good fun. You're basically within this conspiracy storyline, and you've used the internet, and they've planted things throughout like Google and Google
that's
Maps,
very
and there's websites they've made, and you've basically got to go on, do an investigation, and they have sort of, you're in this chat room, and it's mad. They've got like pre-recorded videos, and actors have done stuff, and it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
That is very cool. It's kind of got that like that ARG augmented
Yeah.
reality game kind of feeling, where it's like it's kind of like somewhere between like a scavenger hunt and a digital experience and an
Yeah,
escape room.
exactly. Yeah.
It's a very cool feeling.
That's so cool.
So I don't think I think we asked Alex because he was heading off. But Ed and Rose, what made you feel smartest?
Did you have a single moment of glory?
No, I never come out of these feeling smarter. I feel
you
satisfied and happy to be part of the experience.
We
I think I made a couple of connections that I was
Yeah.
happy with.
You did some great
Absolutely.
stuff, Ed. No, because we usually weirdly do this in a real escape room. It's always kind of, but what Amy, who is another member of our escape team, always likes to. Everyone has like a shining light, basically.
Yeah, we do.
You know.
We do this
We
afterwards.
do it out of what was anyone's like moment, exactly what you're doing. Ed, I think your big moment was in the computer game, making that connection with the Three Doors Down.
Oh yeah,
club.
that was awesome.
That was awesome.
Oh yeah, I was happy with that.
That was really
I
good.
was really happy with that because you'd all as a team you'd already said, oh, okay, so we've got to hold B in the video game, and I wasn't sure how to say yes, but not quite. So the fact that you jumped in with that was very helpful.
But yeah, that's what was, I think, really good about this game is there weren't any wasted clues.
Yes. No red herrings.
Like
I've
there were no red
Had some
herrings really. It was-
scarring experiences with them.
I think that's also one of those things that is like beneficial genre-wise, because in a physical escape room, if you only had things in the room that were relevant to every puzzle, you would either have insanely complex puzzles or very, very sparsely decorated
Yeah.
rooms. So
Yeah.
real escape rooms have to make this balance of like, it should look nice. I want to
Yeah.
build in this theming. And so they have all these objects, and then you get caught up in the bookshelf and you flick through every book, or you
Yeah.
get caught up in the beautiful portrait, and they're like, no, that's just for theming. Whereas again, because we can just say like, picture the room that looks like this in your head,
Yeah.
and now it looks good, and then we'll tell you a list of 4 things, and so
Yeah.
we can be so much more like efficient with like the
With what
stuff
you
that is in
need
a
to pay
room,
attention to.
because it doesn't like have the impact that it would in a real space.
Yeah,
of
we
now the
fill
room
in
looks
we fill in
very
the
boring
gaps,
and
right?
sparse.
And we know
Exactly.
the things we filled in the gaps with aren't part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not going to go. Is the chair in the corner that I've come up with important to the puzzle?
And I'm pretty sure people, including myself, have done that before by drawing a map that is too interesting.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you said there was something in the corner. I'm going to put it on a table, and the table's going to have little wheels, and I'm going to do that. And I'm like, can I check the wheels of the table? Danny says, what are you talking about? The wheels of the table.
I want to
So
ask
it can happen.
Ed, did you? I just saw like you flashed the piece of paper you were working on. Did you draw a map, or did you just draw notes, or did you draw a square with like?
Yeah, no, I
space-
did. I drew. It's sort of a map with things on there, and then wrote notes around. I mean, it looks like the scrawlings of a madman now because I've obviously been sort of doodling on it as well.
The crossed out colon is definitely
Yeah,
That's
crossed
different
out
from
bad
a
and
madman.
scary.
That's perfect.
And then I tried to bracket off clues when we'd used them already.
Yeah, I
but it
started
just
crossing
made it
stuff
even
out.
more
It was very hard.
complicated.
I started like writing like there, and then I started writing the other way up, like, and then just sort of. It's a mess. I can't wait to send it to you.
I'm really
Yes.
looking forward to it. And Rose, what was your shining light moment?
Yeah, shine a light on. Let's all shine a light on Rose.
Tell us about Rose.
No, I well, see, I think it depends, because this is the same thing in real escape rooms. It's like everyone has the ability to figure out something, but it's often who physically gets there first, or where you negotiate. I think it's a real amazing. I mean, that's why you're sending people on team building exercises, and sometimes it goes terribly. But when you find a good escape room team, it's like people know when to like, this is their clue to like solve, and like like no one's jumping in and like trying to solve something. Like you step back, and it's a very interesting dynamic, which is very sweet, I think, about escape rooms. But what was it? I really enjoyed.
I think the no fingers thumb only
The
connection
door
with the
stuff was
poster.
all you.
Yeah, that was fun. But that see, it's so funny though. It's fun. It just everyone makes the mental connections, like just like by chance, almost like in a way. Like it just like their mind wanders to two things in the room that connect, and then it happens. But I enjoyed that, and I enjoyed the thumb thing, and I enjoyed not figuring out the game thing was directional, because what you were saying about
That's
where
true.
they were.
Yes.
Because I was like, that's shady.
Yeah, that was a very good connection.
Yeah.
One of my favourite moments was when we got the the code for the special item thing from the white goods stickers.
You'd been
and
waiting
we'd
for
got
that.
it. We'd got it already, and we were going to go and put it in. And Danny got panicked that we hadn't noticed that it was the SIC rating, so it was connected with
That
special
was-
item code, which we didn't
that
need,
was-
but you just wanted to tell us because you'd made the effort to write it.
Yeah. Did you
No,
know?
what?
Did you see how neat that was?
No. That was because that was a thing that we added in after the playtest.
Right.
Where I didn't have it. Well, I think it's more. I think that's more for a moment for the audience rather than for the because you guys had clearly made that connection. But it's also nice for the
Yeah.
audience to be like, "Hey, look at this!" Especially because we have people who also run these rooms for their friends because you can download all the notes for every one of our rooms, and you can take on Danny's role and you can play it with friends. And so. Sometimes we have people who I think the more we can explain those full connections in the episode, because a lot of people will listen to the episode as their own preparation before running
Yeah.
it, and you want to be like, hey, if your players weren't as smart as these ones and they couldn't make this leap, here's what you should hint to them. So I think it's nice to kind of to point those things out, but it does
Yeah.
sometimes have that feeling of like, did you see what I did? Did you see? Did you see this? Like,
I don't feel like you're
also
experiencing the
Notice
full
me.
texture
Notice
of the
me.
room.
No, I can,
It's just
I
it's just like if you were
understand
playing a
that.
real room and when you solved a puzzle, the game master sort of like came in over the intercom, and went, "Pretty sweet, huh?"
Pretty good. How was that bit? I can completely relate to that. It's an immense amount of work. I can't even fathom how you begin to make to do this stuff. It blows my mind. But it's so good. It's just so intriguing, and it's made me think because I just watched all of Watchmen, and that is a mystery show essentially, an incredible show. But you're like, that's the juice, man. That's what you want out of life. You want to blim and just feel like you're going down a little rabbit. Oh my gosh, clues and codes, and it's just so. It's just I can't think of anything more enjoyable, which is maybe my
Yeah.
problem. I don't know. It's maybe my issue.
This is
I'm
a
with ya.
solution.
So good.
Oh, all right. Do you have anything you want to say about the meta story?
Oh, okay. So
at this point?
we're all now everybody on board that it's clearly a Truman Show.
Oh yeah, your character is finally de-stupided.
Yeah. So the reveal has happened. What do you guys think will happen next episode? I have no idea. Danny knows. I have no idea.
Well,
What might happen?
it's got to go and find the person that's going to help him, right?
And,
yeah.
and
Do
it's
we-
got
but we all-
these puzzles. These
That
puzzle
didn't
pieces.
happen in the movie The Truman Show, did it?
didn't it?
The puzzle pieces are good. That are
Yes.
creating this sort of design on the back of them. Enjoyed that.
Yeah. So, but even then, like right now, we don't have enough puzzle pieces to make anything that I can see based on the 4 that
You're
we've
just
got.
making a big bony fish.
Oh, this is the nerdiest thing I've decided. Did you know what I've started to do here?
What?
With
No.
my puzzle? I don't know if you guys
What?
can see my puzzle pieces on the table at all.
Oh yeah.
What I've done is I've started designing for you, Danny, the Mongolian flag. Which is the
Beautiful.
geekiest thing to say, because Danny will laugh because she knows what the Mongolian flag does. What a nerdy thing to do. You like my joke? I've rearranged them into a simulacrum of the Mongolian flag.
We just had an Only Connect weekend. I don't think that knowing a flag is
That
the
is-
nerdiest
that is
thing
true.
this week.
But no, they don't have anything yet. So like, I would think that maybe like I suddenly thought like, oh, maybe when we've got all the triangles, it will decipher to be the location of that person who's like, here's a triangle. I'm here to help you. But then what do we do next episode? Because it wasn't like, I can help you. My address is 22 Main Street. Like, it's so I don't know what the next step is other than this mysterious helper. Do you just go back to living your life until...
Yeah, maybe you
That
go
would be
home. I think
uncomfortable.
you
Taps on the
might
shoulder.
go home. So my predictions are you're going to go home or maybe have some sort of confrontation with Blake. Maybe Blake is going to put your life in danger or something, or is like, what are you talking about? And then Blake knows, has cottoned on to the fact that you suspect something, or your car is going to be intercepted, or it's going to be an escape room in your car, or you go to this house of this person who's going to help you, or I don't know, it could be in the car. I'm not sure. If they
An
got into the
escape
car.
I
room in
love
the
the idea of
car.
an in-car escape room.
That was how 2 connected arcs ago. That was the first room. we had a haunted house season, and the first room you were in a limo being taken up to the haunted house, and then a ghost started driving you in the car, and you were locked in a ghost car.
That
Oh
was cool.
my gosh,
it's
that's
a
cool.
ghost
Amazing.
car.
I'm downloading that.
But that, I do like
But
that
yeah,
idea.
now that we're slightly deviating from the Truman Show's movie's plot, now you have no idea what's happening.
I think we're going to go up to like a floating platform where Ed Harris and Paul Giamatti is sitting. That's the next room.
Gotcha.
It's the Paul Giamatti room. Yeah, I like the idea of a car one. I like the idea that like he's like, I've left one clue in the car. Can you find the 15 other clues I've left you in this car? And then you just do that. But yeah, it's
car
really
wash.
interesting because there wasn't like a full direction at the end of that one. So it'd be cool to see what happens.
Yeah.
Love it.
Well, I'll be listening. I
Yeah.
can't wait to hear how it all
Oh,
plays
yeah,
out.
I'm hooked now. So
Yeah.
this is very exciting. I can't
Yeah.
wait to see
Oh,
who
wonderful.
you get next.
That's lovely.
Guys, I've got to
probably
run
gotta
off
go
now.
in 5 minutes, guys.
Yep.
Same.
Yes,
I've got to
we
be.
will-
I think it
11:30,
felt like
just
we were at
realised.
the end.
Wonderful. We can finish that episode there. Thank you so much for joining us. I
It
suppose
was
I'll
a
give you two
pleasure.
the opportunity I didn't give Alex, which is, do you want to say where people can find you online if they want
Anything
follow
to
you
plug?
in places, or if you've got anything
I'm
to plug?
I'm floating about. I do about 8 podcasts. Just put Ed Gamble into the internet,
do.
and I'm sure you'll find some stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I do
Wonderful.
bits and bobs. Honestly, Google me. I don't have a website, but I'll get one soon. I think.
Just Google me.
I think so. I'm very bad at self promotion.
I don't need to educate you. Google.
We will put
Google it.
Google search links for both
Yes.
your names
I'll do
in
the
the
Googling,
podcast
and I'll have
description.
all the links in the show notes
Please
below.
do.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Absolutely a pleasure.
Thanks,
I
guys.
was so
Thanks,
happy
guys.
running this
Wonderful.
room for you.
And if you want to find us, you've already found us because you're listening to the show.
Good
but
job,
if you want to
guys.
find, good work, you found us. But we are on Twitter at Ask This Podcast. We're on Instagram as Escape This Podcast. Especially if you want to see Ed and Rose's and maybe Alex's notes, we might be posting them on Instagram
wait.
right now.
Can't wait to see him.
You can also support the show on Patreon, which is a very helpful way to support the show. Anybody who donates can appear as a NPC in one of our rooms. So obviously we had references to Blake in this one, but we also had Colin.
Good old Colin. Thank you, Colin Walker, Patreon donor. We appreciate it very
Now
much.
immortalized as a 38-year-old playing a 15-year-old in a strange fictional universe. We also have bonus episodes. If you want to hear the playtest that we talked about all the time, you can hear it if you're a $5 donor of the show. We also have
like,
another...
not only is that a playtest, this is you get to hear Bill playing through all of the rooms.
Yeah,
so you get to hear
play
him
them.
being the character.
Danny and I then kind of discuss the construction and we break down things that could change. You can hear it before it changed, and you can hear us planning any like tweaks to clues and stuff. It's actually a really nice look into kind of the design process for these things. Not from the beginning,
Yeah,
but like
it's,
this
it's
finalizing
not the majority
design.
of the steps, but it's absolutely a crucial
So if
step.
you do like puzzle design and room design, it's honestly, I think, hopefully, an interesting thing to listen to.
And if you ever need a playtester, Bill is very good at it.
I'm very
He's
good at
very good at coming up with good alternatives to things that haven't quite worked.
it. So yeah, you can check all that out on our Patreon. We also do badges for $10 donors and other
And
fun
all
stuff.
sorts of unimportant stuff like that. You very hand waved that.
We also do badges
also
for
do
our $10 donors.
badges.
They get a badge for every season. We just
We're
had
getting
one
there.
right now, which is like a little ghost on the house being like, "Ooh, it's the Culloden house," and it says keep outlet because you can't
We're
have
getting
Cullodens.
that one
It's
made
a whole
now.
thing for Descent of the Cullodens. It's beautiful. So thank you everybody for listening, and have a wonderful day.